units in my main office building, which you have 4 that you can choose from. I chose this location. Some people have a tendency, well, the content creators, they always choose the most expensive locations for properties when you're given a choice to choose. I don't do that. I go with location as far as um, parking areas, space available, since I like to use choppers before this thing became available. And I still use my helicopters, by the way.
Hey
But to make
girl,
sure I
what's
have
up?
enough room to land, my helicopters and so forth.
Oh,
So,
honey, I hate to say it, but I know
first,
you
I'm
gonna
going to
show
go in
up.
the office because I want to show people the reason why I don't. On this account, I did. But on my PlayStation account, I refuse
Boss.
to do, which is a shame because it's a pretty good business, especially when it goes on double payment, where you basically go out and um, you purchase cargo,
So, we going to have
and
cookies,
then
boss?
once you fill up your warehouses, you can fill up to 5 large warehouses, and it's real good money associated with that when it's double. But what happens is, look at this. I got money on the floor. I got an assistant,
We gonna make some
but
deals?
don't have the ability, like in the penthouse, to clean up. Look at this. Look, money all over the place. TVs all over the place. A briefcase open with money. Look at this. This was actually like this was the first business that they launched. So whoever had the idea and whoever approved it, yeah, that's a great idea. The more money they make, they'll see the money start piling up on the floor. They'll love that. I hate this. I don't like this. Look at it. It's money. Look at the bar. Just briefcases. Look at my boardroom. Look. Look at this. A weapons crate. Why? In the hallway. How can you conduct business like that? If I have clients coming in, how does this look? This is terrible. And they corrected that in the later updates. And one thing Rockstar doesn't do, if they realize, not say that they made a mistake, but if they add a additional business that doesn't have this issue, or like with the apartment that allows housekeeping to come in and clean it up, they don't go in and patch in the ability to clean up. And watch this. Watch this. I have a safe. See? Unfortunately, it's the exact same safe that's in the penthouse with chips. Why do I have chips in here? They didn't even have a casino available when this update came out. But I got chips. Chips for a casino. Or maybe I'm supposed to be playing poker. So, yeah. Why isn't. I guess they can say the safe is full, so there's no room for the money. And I made a lot of money with this business, but yeah,
You do know
I
that
get
I've got
triggered
two
every time
degrees,
I come in this
both in
office.
finance.
Don't like it. So we'll go to we'll go to the auto shop real quick. There's a helipad on the roof as well. I just want to show off the custom auto shop. So any vehicle that I have in this building can be customized here. You don't have to go to a custom shop.
Oh,
You don't have to
hello.
leave the location to customize your vehicle. So you basically come in here and we
Excuse
have
me.
our female mechanic. So she has her tablet. She just ready. Give me a car, we'll hook it up. And you have this lounge area where you can watch TV while you wait for your car if you so choose to. But yeah. So this is a nice little thing that they added with the original, I mean their first update. So that was nice. So we have, you see, garage 1, 2, and 3. But the surprise is, and it's funny how some people didn't realize this initially. They see that we have 3 garages. But when you go in the garage, you look at it and it's like, oh, I got 3 floors. So they thought that this was all 3 garages because for the first time in the game, they allowed you to have a garage with 20 cars instead of 10 like it was before. So that means we have 20 in each garage. So this building holds 60 total vehicles. The ability to have 60 vehicles. So that was a big deal when this launched. It's the only one that's done that. The only other one that's come close is the nightclub that we just came from with 30 plus the additional floors. So, yeah. This is one of my favorite trucks. I'm a truck guy in real life. I love 4-door crew cab trucks. I wasn't a 4x4 guy before, but I am now. I've been converted. I was more of a sports truck guy, but luxury sport. This is a Jeep. Nice as well. This is a Toyota. This is another Ford. This would be an older Ford. This is a Mercedes 6x6. Don't know why I chose to go with a flat green, but apparently that's how I was feeling that day. And this big diesel, this is one of the older ones as well. This was one of my favorite trucks initially because there was a truck like this in Saints Row that I used to love. So I was happy when they finally brought this truck into the game. So this is floor 1 of garage 1. We got more. So on level 2 of garage 1, we have our 4x4 SUVs. We have the Ford Bronco. We have a Nissan 2-door. This would be a Jeep. Not sure why I have this. I'm not the biggest fan, but this would definitely be a vehicle if I ran out of space. I could see myself letting go. This is an original Jeep that's been in the game. I've had this thing in many colors. I had it in black. It was originally in black. I went to a color similar to the other Jeep over here and somehow ended up with this color. I think I was going for like a military look. The only thing about this Jeep that gets to me is I wish they had covered the rear tire, because when you add custom tires, it doesn't match anymore, and the tire looks really big. And actually, the stock tires that come with this thing, they look like flotation devices, and they look like they don't have enough air in them. So that's the main reason why I didn't keep the stock tires on them. But that's just a little gripe I have. This thing here, I guess it's in the corner all alone because it's an off-road vehicle, but it's more car-ish. So, but it's still a nice little vehicle nonetheless. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 2 more spots available on this level for vehicles. So they talked about there were going to be off-road vehicles coming in this update. But what they do, they drip feed, which I think is a term coined because of GTA Online, where they'll tell you that there's like more than 12 vehicles coming, but they'll give you like maybe 5 when the update drops, and the rest they'll give you 1 vehicle every week after that to extend it. So we won't get all the vehicles on day 1. These 2 vehicles actually, I was kind of happy the way they turned out. This is the BMW luxury SUV. That's why I have them on a separate floor than the 4x4s. I really like how it came out. And this is the Lamborghini one. Again, the wheel choice I went with, it really fit with this vehicle. And this one actually looks better, a little bit better than the one in real life sometimes. Over here I have 2, and the reason I have 2 is because this was a hard to get vehicle. You had to do some special things in the game to get it. So since I had 2 right in front of me, I was like, well, I'm going to get 2, because not many people have these vehicles. It's like a tease that Rockstar always did, where you'd get missions where these vehicles were, and you could actually drive them, but you could never take one back to your garage and park it in there. It would never let you until that particular thing came out, workaround that allowed you to do so. So I decided to get 2 of them. This over here is supposed to be a drift truck. They went with this, it's more Chevy, but it's based on a Ford drift truck in real life. You got the wide body, and I decided to put the cap on the bed simply because its brother over here, which is a lowrider truck, I have the bed cover. So I wanted to have a little distinction between the 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 1 spot available for another vehicle up here. And that truck is technically, I mean, it's a lowrider, but it doesn't go into bennies, so it won't allow you to customize it in bennies. Rockstar got a little bit lazy after they did those bennies specific vehicles, and they just stopped doing them. But they're saying that they're going to have some vehicles that are going to be allowed in bennies, so we'll see. So we have 3 spaces available in this garage. Garage number 1. Garage number 2. I actually forget what I have on each in each garage until I see them. I know what I have in them, but to remember which one is in which garage. Okay, these are my imports and classics. This car over here, love this car. This car came together so nicely. The color, the strip down the side. This is, there he goes again.
LJT here.
Shut up, LJT. This is an old school BMW. I love this car. Love it. And it drives really nice. Anybody seen my my heist video, Casino Heist, where we used this vehicle as the getaway vehicle. Over here is another old school BMW. And I had so much high hopes for this thing. But no matter what I tried to duplicate a similar style to the other one. And this is what I ended up with. It's okay, but it can't hold up to the other one. But I had to have the pair. Same thing with these two. When this car came out, this little Escort, Fast and Furious, I opted to go with this color scheme. Don't remember why, but it looks nice. Yeah, normally you see these cars in blue for some reason. Even the wheel choice, I normally don't choose these wheels, but I decided it looked okay. Now, when they came out with the similar Escort, I put these wide flares on it, the spoiler choice on the back. It's like, I don't know, I couldn't get it to get me like the original, because this one came first and then they came with this one after the fact. So it's okay, but like the other, it didn't get me like the first. Over here, this was a car that before we got the Skyline, we were calling this, because there were some four-door Skylines. So that's what this was. And it's one of the first cars that allowed you to put, you know, you got the sports seats in here, and you could put some, you got a roll cage to make it look like a tuner car. You got the tuner tow hook in the back. But that was basically it. It didn't have much customization, but it was one of the first cars that allowed us to do this. Again, you see we got the fender mirrors. But that's the type of mirrors those cars had, so I couldn't argue much on that. This is supposed to be a little, I believe, a little Russian car. This thing came with some weird little, and in real life they actually did this. Like they put cardboard to use as side skirts, front spoilers, rear spoilers, and you could actually use cardboard looking ground effects on this thing. You really wanted to make it authentic to what some people did in real life. It was real funny, but I'm not gonna do that to my vehicles. I want them to look as nice as possible, so we ended up with this purple color scheme. Oh, we're still on the first floor. Second floor. We have more imports. This is another car that people were asking for. It's supposed to be a 280Z, which is a Nissan, but in this game it's a 190, and it's a Toyota. And I guess they can get away from it because it kind of has the Toyota rear lights, which is something Rockstar does a lot of, where now these mirrors don't look as bad. I can kind of go with these. But yeah, Rockstar does that where they put maybe the front end of a certain car and the rear of another, and then it's like, okay, you got the rear of a Toyota, the front end of a Nissan. I mean, they're both Japanese cars, but then you got to decide, okay, what we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it the Toyota version? Are we gonna make it a Nissan? And then it's like, I will go Toyota with this one. This one here was another car that people really wanted. Fast and Furious, Toyota Supra. We finally got it. Nice car as well. Now this, yeah, they put this in the Honda category. Yeah, because Karen is Toyota. So this should have been a Karen. They do some things. I mean, I don't know if they do that stuff on purpose or if the person is just not aware, but sometimes you can't like cross manufacturers like that. But they do it. This is a Ferrari. This was one of the original cars, like in the original GTAs. So people were asking to get a version in GTA Online. The same for this one as well. Actually, all four of these cars, you got two Ferraris that were originally. Yeah, this was the Cheetah in the older games. This is a Testarossa, Ferrari Testarossa in real life. Made famous by Miami Vice, if anybody remembers that show. And these are the two Lambos. This was the Infernus, which they have newer versions of in the game. The newer Infernus I'm not really crazy about. This was actually an Infernus 2 in Vice City, but since they named this one the Infernus Classic, they had to come up with a different name for this one, so they end up with Torero, which I think means bull or something similar to bull, which the symbol for Lambo is a bull. I threw this car in here. This car actually won on the casino wheel as well. This is the Austin Powers car. I think I might have changed the wheels, maybe, or maybe the wheels, because I normally don't put carbon wheels on a car, so it might have came with these. I don't know, don't remember, but I figured it fit nicely with this floor of classic imports. And on the top floor, I know what I have. This started out to be a convertible only floor, but I had to improvise. This is not a lowrider, but it is. I mean, this is the old school Thunderbird. But it definitely looks like a lowrider, so I had to make it look like one. This would be a Cadillac, a 70s probably Cadillac. This is just a regular car. Those two, you can grab them off the street free. This here is a Vet. The nicer Vets, I actually like these Corvettes. Those are the wheels that come with it. They were too nice that I didn't want to change them, wanted to leave it stock. This is a pet peeve of me as well. An iconic car. Ford Shelby Cobra. They put it in the game. A cobra is a snake. They named it the Mamba. Okay, fine. That's great. It's still a snake. But what they did is they made it a Chevrolet, not a Ford. Why? Why would you do that? to an iconic car. I, so that's another one of my pet peeves. This car and the Charger Gto Hybrid. But that's what they do. We have another Bentley Convertible. Now this top goes up and down. The other two convertibles, the Vet and the Cobra, there's no retractable top. This one does have an automatic hard top. This one as well. It doesn't have a hard top, it's a soft top, but it retracts. And the reason why this car is in here and it's not a convertible, because I had to pair it off with its brother or sister, depends on how you look at it. I didn't want to separate them. So you could say this is a newer version of this car. Didn't really activate my OCD, so it's fine. I mean, it follows a theme. So we're done with garage 2. So we got one more garage, then we're done. I'm sure I'm gonna have to make this at least 2 parts, because no one's gonna sit through 2 hours of me doing this. If you are, more power to you, but I wouldn't expect it. So I'm definitely gonna have to make at least 2 parts, possibly even 3. So syncing, I'm probably gonna have to do a voiceover after the fact, because I don't think I'll be able to sync this audio with it. It'll be a miracle if I can pull that off. I did some rearranging in this garage prior to recording, and I actually like what I came out with. It's mostly muscle cars in here, except for these two. Now these two have a relation because they're both Aston Martins in real life. This is based off of a James Bond car as well. Now this car, coincidentally, you can add mounted machine guns, but I couldn't do that to this car. It just would have hurt me, because there's 2 versions. There's this version where you can put machine guns at work, and then there's a version which has fake machine guns. It's basically a movie prop car that you can purchase, and the machine guns don't work. So you have machine guns on the hood, but they don't work. So I never purchased that. And this is actually an Aston Martin as well. When this car came out, there was a lot of people triggered. Me a little bit as well. Because they were like, we finally got our Mustang. We finally got our Mustang. And I was like, that's not a Mustang. I even sent photographs of the real life car to show how much it did look similar to a Mustang. But a lot of cars at that time looked similar, even though Aston Martin is a UK car. But yeah, it does resemble somewhat. And then they came out with this car, so glad they did, so people can stop calling this a Mustang. But Rockstar made it even worse, to where you can put like a big blower on the hood to make it look like a muscle car. And it's nowhere near a muscle car. So that's why I have them together, just to make sure that people can see. If I had this in a separate garage, to be like, oh, that's a Mustang. No, it's not. It's an Aston Martin, like that one. But this is the Mustang, and I can see why you would think it's a Mustang, because they resemble. But anyway, so this is a classic Mustang that they choose to call the Ellie for Eleanor. If you watch the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage, that's why they named it that. This is the Mustang that was in the original release of the game, a modern Mustang. This would be the new version of the Mustang. Nice looking. So we have 3 generations of Mustangs right here. And this car is with these guys because it is a muscle car as well, and it's a Ford. This is a Ford Falcon based on the Mad Max car. And this is actually a arena car. But I made sure I didn't put any of the arena stuff on it to give it the stock look. And I went with a flat black color. On the second floor, this garage is actually full, by the way. These are some of my favorites as well. When this car released, I was like excited too, because this is like one of my favorite cars in real life as well. The Chevelle, this body, love this body. Or it can be the Impala. They call it the Impaler. But yeah, I said Chevelle. They actually, that's another thing about those cars. They actually look alike, because the Chevelle does have a body style that looks really close to this as well. Actually, this looks more like a Chevelle than an Impala, to be honest. This is like a 70s 4-door Chevelle, which we don't have many 4-door muscle cars in the game, so that was a surprise to get this one. I had trouble trying to figure out what paint scheme to go with this one as well, so I decided on this. It looks okay as compared to the other choices. So this would be a 71, 72 Chevelle. This, I had trouble trying to get the right color for this one too. This is a Chevy Nova. People were happy to get this in the game finally too. I was as well. Only thing I'm not crazy about, this is more catered to be a drag car, because we got the big wide wheels in the back and the small wheel in the front. It's not really my taste, but yeah, it's so noticeable to me. But other than that, nice vehicle. This over here was another vehicle everybody was asking for. The Challenger Hellcat. They call it a Hellfire. But we finally got a more authentic looking Challenger as opposed to that hybrid over there. Let me talk about the hybrid before I talk about this car. This was our original Challenger in the game. I mentioned this already in one of my videos. My nephew was like, that's a Camaro. And I argued him down. I'm like, no, that's a Challenger. He's like, no, that's a Camaro. And I was stuck on it being a Challenger because it's the GTA Dodge, right? So I'm like, no, it's a Challenger. And I'm a Hemi guy. I drive a Hemi in real life, so all I could see was Challenger. And his mom was at the time all about a Camaro. She was going to get a Camaro. So he knew what a Camaro looked like because of her. And after a while, I start seeing it. If you look at it on the side, you can kind of see Camaro. And if you look at it, the rear lights, you can kind of see Camaro as well. And the front, yeah, that's definitely Camaro. So, because it's angled and not flat like the Challenger is supposed to be. So they did the same thing as they do on other cars. They made this car a Challenger with the Camaro, and they opted to go with the Dodge name in GTA, which I was fine with until I started seeing the Camaro on it. And this was actually a car that people were asking for as well. This is a vehicle that was never in the game before. It's a old school Challenger, which looks like an old school Challenger. I had a hard time deciding on the color for this one as well. Don't know why, but it was difficult. So this one looks okay. And the photograph that we got for the new update, it's heavily hinted that you're going to be able to put the, which is weird, but whatever, front cap that looks like the Dodge Charger Daytona. Why are they doing it on this car? I don't know, because this is not the right body for it. But yeah, they're going to do that. Put that front nose cap. And it already has that big wing available for this car, so I guess that's why they're doing it. It's their version of the Daytona. Even though it's the little brother to the Charger, the Challenger, but we'll see in the update. And this car, this is a funny car. It's technically a Plymouth, and it has the rear tail lights of a Plymouth Cuda, which again is in the Hemi family, Dodge, Chrysler, and Plymouth. So this is more of a Chrysler Plymouth type manufacturer, but this is also based on a real life car, even this paint scheme, and it's a Javelin. I thought I was gonna forget it. So it's like a Cuda Javelin hybrid, but this car as well, when I put it together, the color scheme, I was like, I really like this. So this is another one of my favorite muscle cars. And on the last floor, we have the Oldies. This is a Cadillac in the game, which I believe they had Cadillacs that look like this, but most people would probably say it's a Mercury, which again, no, Mercury is Ford. Yeah. But a lot of cars back in the 50s kind of had this style to them. So it's a 50s two-door sedan. Normally don't use flames on a car, but for some reason I stuck with it on this one. I mean, it looks okay. And that was kind of the colors I was using back then, gray and blue. This over here, I was kind of surprised it actually came out this well. A two-door wagon, but it had some nice liveries and customizable interior to an extent. So, yeah, and I normally don't use color wheels other than black. So, definitely surprised that I did this, but I like the way it turned out. This car too, I was surprised. This was actually Christmas gift from Rockstar. The other car at the end too with the flames was a Christmas gift. Every Christmas they always give us at least one free car, so these are the free cars that we got at Christmas time. Nice little car. I like the way it turned out. This little car, I don't know. I forget where it's supposed, what country it's supposed to be from. I mean, it looks okay. Not gonna drive it. It's more collectible. But if I had to choose, if I'm running out of space, this would be the first car to go. Cause I'm not hooked on it or anything. It has no special place in my heart. It had some customization options like um, the hood option, and I believe, well, I know I probably would have put that on there if they had an option for a visor. But yeah, it's an okay little car. There's a spoiler on the front, I believe. That was an option. So, but yeah, it would definitely be the first to go. All collections gotta have one of these hot rods. This was in the original game when it came out. Matter of fact, it's a throwback to San Andreas. This is the hot knife, they called it. That was a special car that you had to unlock. I forget what you had to do to unlock it, but yeah, this is their version of that car. This is another car that was in San Andreas, the Hustler. Funny enough, this was a car that you could earn for dating the first girl that you met in San Andreas, which, in my opinion, it didn't fit her personality that she'd be driving a car like this, but that's what they did. And you had to get a certain rank of relationship before she would give you the keys to it. And this here, last car on the list, it's another old school. It's a Cadillac, I believe. Yeah, it's considered Cadillac in the game. This came out with Valentine's Day. They normally do these type vehicles with well, actually they just reuse it every year at Valentine's Day. They usually go back to that time period with the clothing for the male and female characters in this car, and even the weapons. So yeah, guys, that's it. I don't think I left anything out. So this is my collection of cars that I've collected over the 7 years that I've been playing this game. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to split this up because this turned out to be a long video. I got my commentary separate, so if I can sync it in there, that's what I'll do. If I can't, I'll just do the video and do a voiceover. That may be easier, actually, to rewatch the footage and just narrate as I go through. But we'll see. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you in the next video.